Hello friends, today I'm tackling a super practical DIY project. Do it yourself. I am building a firewood storage with only stuff that I have lying around. No fancy tools, no spending, just me, some scrap material, and a whole lot of determination. If you're living rural or if you like frugal fixes, this one's for you. Let's get started. So this is my pile of wood. It's a bit intimidating. It's 2 cords of wood and it's 95% maple with a little bit of birch in there. So it's a nice hard wood. So it should be very efficient to heat my house for the entire winter. Now today is day 1 of me trying to stack it, and I'm out of money completely. So I had to figure out how I was going to keep it away from the elements, and I know I have to use what I have on hand. So this is an old deer dressing station, I guess. Oh, there's a little chipmunk over there, right by my shed door. There he goes. 2 owners ago, they were hunters, and they put up this deer dressing station. And I'm not a hunter, but I wanted to use it for something because it's really, really strong. So I figured, okay, that'll sort of be where I'm going to stack my firewood. And a couple of years ago, one of my neighbors was tearing down his garage, and he had a whole bunch of these cinder blocks. And I just asked him if I could take them, and there's like 20 of them. So I figured, okay, I've got these on hand. I'm going to use these as the base of what I'm going to build, kind of like a pallet, I guess. So I'm going to use the cinder blocks under, and I have this leftover lumber. I have not that much of it. There's more in the basement, but I'm going to use what I have to build a makeshift sort of pallet for my firewood. So I'm going to show you as I go along. I'm not going to film the whole thing because it's going to be a lot, but I just wanted to show you what I'm up to today. I think this is going to work out pretty well. As long as I have enough lumber, for the base, I think it's going to work out well because they're holding very well, and I've got plenty of cinder blocks. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I have enough lumber around my place to stack everything up properly. The idea is you want airflow, so you don't want to put it directly onto the ground. And I have a gap in between those 2 planks of wood underneath the firewood, so it's going to get some airflow for sure. It's a perfect day to do it, and I have about 5 days to complete this project, though I think it seems pretty good. I'm doing very well right now, so I might be done in 2 or 3 days. But in 6 days, we're supposed to have torrential rain, and hopefully it'll be nice before that, because I really want to get this done before that. I'm going to have to build sides to this firewood shed so that if anything happens, there isn't an avalanche of wood that's going to fly off the sides. So I found these pieces of lumber in my shed. They all have nails in them though, and I'm certainly not going to try to take the nails out, but I want to make sure, and they're rusty, so I want to make sure that it's safe for me. I took out my little axe, but it has a little blunt end at the end, so I'm just using this to hammer in those nails to the side. See, oh, you can't see that one. I'll show you one over here. Can you see these? Yeah, you can see those. Just be careful, Rain. See, now I've bent the nails down here. They're not sticking straight up, so I'm not going to poke myself. So I have to do that with all of these nails, but I just wanted to show you a very easy way to do that. I wanted to show you also, this is a mini chainsaw. It cuts diameters of 6 inches. And I bought this a couple of months ago specifically thinking that I was going to cut down my own wood, because I have over 2 acres of woods out there, and I have a lot of dead trees and a lot of deadfall. And most of my forest is birch. So the trunks are not more than 6 inches. So I figured, why get a big chainsaw? This is so much easier to manage. I'm going to do a video on this because one of my beautiful friends and followers, her name is Sharon, she asked about this. So Sharon, I will get to doing a video on the mini chainsaw. But I had to put this wedge of wood under the entire first piece of lumber because it wasn't high enough. I wanted to even out the pallet. So I'm just going to use my mini chainsaw to cut the excess wood off. Easy peasy. I love it. Well, friends, I'm halfway done the first row, which I don't think even is one cord, but that's okay. I'm taking a little break and I wanted to give you a few tips. Wear gloves. I have these and I also have some work gloves. Wear safety glasses because if it's windy, there are little bits of wood that fly around and dust that fly around, and I'll tell you, I got a little dust in my eye. That's why I'm wearing these now. Don't forget to stretch. Stay hydrated. And if you're doing a lot of bending over and lifting, you know, I'm lifting up from the ground, use your legs. Okay, don't bend with your back, bend with your legs and lift with your legs just to keep yourself safe, because this is really hard work. It really is hard work. I'm going to show you what I did. So far, this is what I have done. Isn't that pretty with the maple tree in the back? I always see the beauty and the art in everything. So this is what I've stacked so far, and really that's just one row. And I want to get it up to this bar here. That's going to be the first row. Just to show you on the side. It's just like the one row here. But I'm getting it done, and I'm working smart. And I just went in for some more water, and it's looking good. I've got the first row done. I still have quite a bit of energy, so I'm going to keep going on that massive pile. Oh my goodness, I just got a little bit of a break. One of my neighbors way down the road, I think at least 2 kilometers away, has bought a piece of land, and he's getting a well drilled. And for those of you who know what that sound is like, you know how loud it is. I can't complain because when I moved here in 2020, I had to get my well drilled too, and it was so loud. But they're on day 3, so they must be digging really deep, or maybe they're not that efficient. I don't know, but I'm going to keep going. I went down to my basement to look for some more lumber, and I found these stands that I made. I made these years ago. I had a video on how to make grow lights in your basement, and since I didn't really do anything with them, they've been collecting dust for like a year. I figured, oh, why not? I'll use that as the siding of my firewood shelter. I've got like 4 or 5 of these, maybe even 6 of them. I dismantled a few of them, but all they are pieces of, I think it's 2x4 that I attached here, and then I just put a piece on the bottom, and it holds itself up. So I'm just going to screw this into that big piece of lumber there, and I'll be able to take another piece of lumber and screw it in here. I'll show you. So that it kind of acts as a wall so that the second row of lumber doesn't fall over. And I'm hoping that'll work. And when the time comes, I'll probably put a cinder block behind this one too, just to make sure it's safe. Now I have to continue chucking wood. I just wanted to mention something about people. You see this wheelbarrow full of kindling? One of my neighbors was driving by and he said, "Hey, I've got a whole bin of kindling. Do you want it?" And I said, "What? What do you mean?" And he's like, yeah, take it. Just take it. And he brought it over and he dumped it into my wheelbarrow. Isn't that nice? People can be so sweet and kind, can't they? Well, my friends, this is the end of day 1. I'm talking loud because it's very windy. I'm going to show you. I had 2 rows done. And I just put all my wood out there ready for tomorrow. And it's about 4 feet high. I believe this is considered one cord because a cord is supposed to be 8 feet long by 4 feet high by 2 feet deep. And I believe that's what I have. And this is the pile that I have left. So that's the second cord that I'm going to do tomorrow. But I am so sore, I have to stop now. I've run out of wood lumber that is the length of 8 feet. So I'm going to have to get creative tomorrow. And I have to use what I have in-house. I can't go out and buy anything because the funds aren't there. So that's my effort for day one. Hello folks, I'm back. I decided to take yesterday off because my body was sore. This is hard labor. So when you're doing stuff like this, it's important to take some time off to let your body recover so that you don't pull a muscle or hurt yourself, right? And today is a perfect day to be doing this because I think right now it's only 1 degree Celsius out, which is, it's got to be around 33 Fahrenheit because I know that 0 is 32. So it's quite cold, but it's a good day to be working outside. So yesterday it was raining a little bit. It would have been really unpleasant. Now I'm changing things up a bit and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do today. So I still have probably about a cord of wood that I have to stack. And what I was going to do was I was going to build forward. You see, I've got 2 rows done and I was going to keep going forward and forward and forward. But then I realized these little builds that I had done here, they're probably not going to be strong enough to hold all that wood because this one is going to be kind of up against this one, and this one's already holding 1 row of all that wood. So I decided I'm going to build next to it. I'm not going to build forward, I'm going to build sideways. And I think that's going to be good because I can still utilize this big pole that's way deep into the ground as part of the structure. So I think it'll be a lot more strong. It'll be stronger, definitely. And I had a vision of all of this tumbling down. So I decided I wanted to make it a little more easy on myself too, instead of cutting boards and making it all fit to this length. That board, and I've got 2 old shelves over here. They all are about 71 inches in length. So I'm going to use those as the rest of my firewood holder, I suppose I could call it. So off I go. So that's all secure. I'm ready to start stacking. Better stretch a bit. So I've got the first row done. As I mentioned yesterday, a cord of wood is 8 feet long, 4 feet high, 2 feet wide. And this isn't quite 8 feet long. It's about just under 7 feet long. So I'm probably going to have to do 3 rows, I think. We'll see. But now I'm going to work on building the platform for the second row. Well, the second row is done. Now I'm going to work on hopefully the last row. It just seems like that wood pile is not getting any smaller right now. Maybe it's because I'm, close to the home finish, but it feels like it keeps regenerating. I hope the third row will be the last one. I guess if I really look at it, it does look a little smaller. No, it doesn't. It doesn't look a little smaller. So it's coming along pretty well. I'm almost done just preparing for the third row. I just wanted to show you this outer one here. It's pretty stable, but I think just because it doesn't have anything on this side, like the others have, I'll show you. The back row here, it's got that pole, to keep it sturdy. The middle one here, it's pretty much being held by the other side of the stack of wood, so this side is extremely sturdy. But this third row here, it's got nothing but that cinder block down there, sort of keeping it together. I've screwed everything together, but just to make it extra sturdy, I think I'm going to put a piece of wood over the top and just put 2 screws in here just to make it kind of like a box, to make sure the outer one is sturdy and to make sure that the wood isn't going to like avalanche down in the middle of the winter. I think that's sturdy enough. This side's okay, because it's being held up by all this wood here, but I just want to make sure that the last one, hopefully this is the last one, it's going to be nice and sturdy. That's my dog barking because she's hearing my voice. So I'm going to continue stacking. Allie Faye, be quiet. I finished the 5th row. I have 1, 2 here and 1, 2, 3 here, and I still have I'm telling you, it's regenerating itself. I don't know what the heck's going on, but I'm determined to finish this today, so 1 more row ought to do it. Well, I got very lucky because I used my last cinder block here. That's all I have, so I can't build any more rows. So this is the last row, and it's not as long as the other ones. But, oh, sorry, I'm all crooked here. But basically, it's all the lumber that I have left. So without purchasing more, I won't be able to build any more rows, but hopefully, this will hold the rest of my firewood. Fingers crossed. Last one. Yay! I did it! I can't believe I did it. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of myself. I've got to show you everything. There it is, my friends, my beautiful, beautiful firewood shed. I'm calling it a shed. The last thing to do is to put tarp over the top, which I am certainly not doing today. I'm going to clean up all the little pieces of kindling there so the dogs don't, get splinters or try to pick them up and chew on them. And then I'm done. But I want to show you. I have 3 rows of firewood logs, but it's beautiful, isn't it? It's a beautiful thing. I think it's a work of art. So what I did was I had this beam that I found under my shed, and this side was still a little bit wobbly. I did put, I boxed it, and I have a cinder block on the bottom, the last one. But I decided I wanted to wedge it up just in case. So I dug a little bit into the ground down here, and I jammed that beam into the ground, and then I just wedged it here, and just for, it's not going anywhere because it's super, super heavy, but just for extra safety, I put a screw on this side and a little screw on that side, just so it doesn't move. But when I'm ready to go and get wood from the back rows, all I have to do is unscrew one of them and knock the beam over, and that's it. So that's it. My firewood shed is complete, and it didn't cost me a penny. Now, I can't advertise this as, a lot of people might do clickbait, like, build a firewood shed for $0. Well, that's only if you have the stuff. I was lucky enough to have a whole bunch of extra lumber hanging around and all those cinder blocks, and I have tarps, so I didn't have to spend any money, thankfully, because I am trying to save money. So, my friends, I'm glad that you were along my journey with me, and I am telling you, a hot shower is going to be wonderful right now. And that's it. 2 cords stacked and ready to keep me warm all season long. I hope this gave you some ideas for your own setup, especially if you're working with what you've got. If you enjoyed this kind of do-it-yourself project, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And also let me know what you're building next. Stay cozy out there.